All right, we're going to sit down with Dustin. He shares his time spent over at the 920 when during COVID and the kids weren't going to school. Larry and Colette were able to let Dustin and his wife and daughter stay at the 920 in the loft, and they pretty much just took over the cattle out there as well. They were there on spot, able to check cattle. It was also during calving season, so it kind of helped out for everybody. But Dustin sits down and shares that story with us. It's pretty awesome. Let's get into it. Well, Dustin, thank you for coming by, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, looking forward to talking with you and learning what's going on out here. So, how's life? What's going on?
Life's good.
Yeah?
Pools are full, grass is green, so can't complain too much.
Yeah. You've been here at 1024 for a while?
I'll be starting 6 years this spring.
That's a good amount of time.
So.
Yeah, full time.
Yes, sir.
Well, there's plenty of work to be done, right?
Every day.
Yeah.
7 days a week. Sometimes you never know what's going to go on, what's going to come up, or anything like that. So.
Yeah, and y'all are kind of just whatever needs to be done all the time. Something's always breaking, something's falling apart.
There's always something sick, something broke, the fence down somewhere, so
yeah,
the road is smooth out. So.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about with Richie, because he's saying he's bringing in all this rock for these roads, and I was thinking, man, if it's as bad as the hunting side of the roads, it's got to get awful. And he was like, well, it's worse, and we're putting so much heavy equipment and moving so much weight across these roads that you've really got to pack them down good.
The cattle tracking across them, and tractors and feed trucks, and because if Larry can't get to feed, then we got to make it where Larry can feed. So.
Yeah. It's good that he's out there too.
Oh yeah,
every day. Well, if they're here,
if he's in town, he's in the feed truck feeding, checking on something. So
that's awesome.
He may make all 6 ranches every day if nobody else can. So.
Yeah. No, and it's good to see him. Like, he'll even stop in here when we have hunters and just say hello to everybody.
Oh yeah, they make sure everybody not knows them, but is well taken care of, and they don't sit around and talk, but they like to.
Yes.
Let them know who owns it, and that's it. That's see how their hunt's going, making sure they don't need nothing.
Yeah. No, they're good people. I think even Colette sometimes likes to come in for dinner and just pop quiz the hunters on how was the experience? Was there anything that we could do to make it better?
And the food's good, so you can't go wrong with the food.
Yeah.
So.
I give Jason a hard time sometimes. I'm like, I don't even think they're here to hunt. They're just here to eat, man.
Make sure there's any leftovers.
Yeah.
You'll check the refrigerator every time you come up here to get a drink.
Well, if I were y'all, I'd be checking the fridge too for any leftovers.
I check it every day.
Yeah? You ever find anything?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Because sometimes he cooks a lot expecting for a lot of people to eat, and then sometimes they eat and couldn't finish their meal, and he just packs it up and sticks it in the fridge.
Microwavable containers. Bring them home, cook them.
Absolutely.
Warm them up. So.
Yeah. And are you from this area?
I grew up about 45 minutes east of here.
Okay. So. Did you know of 1024 before you started
working
here?
I had heard of them, and kind of through a neighbor, the guy I used to work for, he used to come over here and hunt, and kind of heard about it from them, and kind of went on from there. So.
Yeah. Did you know some of the guys that were already working here before you came on?
I knew Galen a little bit, and Heath. They was here whenever I started, and I guess Galen kind of got me on over here full time. So I was working for a guy, and we was kind of slow at the time, which it neighbored a place over there in Hopkins County. And Galen had seen me, and he said, "Why don't you start? If you got something to do or need something to do, you can come by and tag these registered cattle for me." He said, "I can't send somebody over there every day." So it started out as that for whenever I could check them 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and then it was overloaded with hogs. I started trapping some hogs, and then spring cow work and come around and kind of come full time here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It was closer to home. It was having to drive back and forth to Silver Springs 7 days a week. It got kind of old, but now you got to go at least 3. So but it's all good. So.
Are you you live here now locally, or consider like driving distance to the ranch?
10 minutes from the house to here. So
perfect. Yeah. So you're just a jump away from being at work.
Phone call away, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so there was the 920 that I went over to last time I was here to take pictures of the loft, and they had set it up to like an additional guest house or something. Did you guys were able to stay there?
Yes, sir.
During some time, right?
Our house, we was remodeling our house, and Larry and Colette let me and my wife and my daughter stay over there for almost a year, and it was when COVID hit, and it kind of lucked out. We was calving out a bunch of heifers, and my wife and my daughter, they would go check them when I couldn't be there, and they pretty much got well acquainted with them more than I did. So.
It became a family operation real
Yes.
quick. Yeah.
It was a full-time job. So.
Yeah. If you were able to get out there and check them, and then they were out running behind you,
Oh, yes.
double checking. Oh, that's pretty good, man.
Looking for hogs and deer too along the way.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people will even forget about all the predators and hog problems and stuff that you have to keep control of out here as well. It's not just cattle.
No,
The cattle come with problems,
Yes.
you know. Yeah. Well, what would you say is your favorite part about working out here?
Probably the Friday eating whenever in the summertime, whenever the chef's cooking.
When y'all
for
are
us.
doing the cowboy
That's-
lunches?
Yes,
We were just talking about that with somebody else
that's
too.
something worth looking forward to every
Yeah.
Friday. So
That's something that you guys built culturally here at 1024,
Yes.
and it's I think word has gotten out. You know, it's something that people in town even know that's going on out here, and
yes,
it's
turned
admired.
into a community dinner. Is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much what it is.
Yeah,
So,
which is great, you know,
Yes.
because you guys are a community here. Y'all have built your own culture, and people look up to y'all, you know, and it's good that y'all are giving back to the communities.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there are some stakeholders from the community that come out and eat,
Yes.
and, you know, they're just wanting to see everybody. Which is also the other part of what we're doing here with these interviews is we've been focused so long on the hunting stuff, and now we're at a good place, social media wise, and building those platforms up. And now y'all have been doing this cattle stuff for a while now, behind the scenes.
Yes.
Basically, you know, I mean, everybody here locally knows 1024, the ranch and the cattle business, but not so much on the social
yeah, it's
media
like
side.
I told you before about the guy I used to work for. So he come out here to actually buys our yearlings off of us, and he needed some bulls, and I said, well, let's just go look at some. We ended up buying 4, I think, the first time. Turned them out on a place, and the guy come by and asked him where he got them from, and he called, and then, which I had a lot of contacts through him, and they followed me
Yep.
back this way, and I mean, I bet we sold probably 25 bulls just through him.
Yeah.
And then he helped us on selling a bunch of our fat calves that we was kind of stuck with that needed to go, and we didn't have no freezer space, and that's when the meat moving was kind of slow when we
Yeah.
first started. And like Galen said, we started big and kind of got stuck with a bunch, but we got out of it, and now we need some more because it's going faster than we can get them fat.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure. And that all goes back to relationships that all of y'all have brought into 1024,
Yes.
like from previous places and previous work lives. And it's all about connections and networking, you know, and now you guys have found more business through all of you
Yes.
collectively together, you know. So yeah, things are ramping up.
Yes.
Like I passed a sign on the way in on the interstate coming from Arkansas, big 1024, and I look back, sure enough, big old
Yeah.
red barn. I'm like, well, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go, right?
We're on the internet.
Yeah.
On the internet, and now we're on the interstate. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you where we'll be next.
Yeah. So and that's the plan, right? Because Larry and
Yeah.
Colette they're 15 years ahead of the rest of us, you know, thinking with what's going on. So I wouldn't be surprised if things start multiplying around
Yeah.
here fast. But definitely wanted to call you in and sit down and pick your brain for a minute, man, because so that's where we're going with this is we want to put names to faces and faces to people that are been out here doing all this work, because without the guys in the field and the hands-on, no one would ever be where they are right now,
Right.
you know. So
And the surrounding communities, they understand a lot about what they do for the local FFA organizations and
absolutely,
the county shows. I mean,
all the fundraising.
yes, big buyers, big donators for meat and a hunting trip, a fishing trip, and anything that has to do with kids shows. My daughter's shows, they was short some money for some buckles. They called me and said, hey, you think Larry and Colette would help out? Yeah, how much you need?
Absolutely.
And finished the buckles out. I mean, paid the judge off, made some added money. My daughter, she lucked out and ended up with 1 buckle out of the deal, but
Yeah,
it means a lot. The rodeos around, I mean, they help out
yeah.
tremendously on
It's
everything.
good stuff.
So.
Yeah. No, it's and it's all for good reasons,
Yes.
you know, and everybody appreciates it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know it's getting late. Y'all been out all day, so I'll let you get out of here. But
All right,
thanks for swinging
appreciate
by,
it.
man.
You're welcome.
Yeah.